Welcome live to the TBN pregame show. I'm Mary Claire Zacharias alongside Sal Valera and Graham Warner. We will be previewing the final game in the regular season and senior night as the Thunder take on the 2-5 Jaguars of Blue Valley West. The Thunder earned the 38-35 win over Capon on Friday night in a crazy game as Brady Boyson used his amazing vertical to block the game-tying field goal to improve their record to 6-1 on the season and to extend their winning streak to 5. Guys, this is such an exciting game. What is your instant reaction to this spectacular ending?
Well, I mean, that game was crazy. It was just so many just points that we thought, like, this game is ours or we've lost this game. We came in and got really lucky there to keep everything going to overtime. An amazing block on Boydson did an amazing job with that. But just such an exciting game. And honestly, that was pretty fun to get a watch. And you guys did an amazing job on the call, but that was an amazing game to watch.
But absolutely, just so back and forth, and we always love watching.
Absolutely. I just think it was business as usual. St. James definitely pulling out the win there by 3 points. But if you go back to the first pregame show of the season, I knew St. James was going to go all the way this year. And they're doing just that, according to my prediction.
Absolutely. Vornbach showed up in a big way with 4 touchdowns on the night. I'm personally just seeing a lot of growth from him from the time he came into the Miege game to now. Graham, I'll start with you. What are you seeing from him that is a good sign for this Thunder team heading into the regular season finale?
You know, he really doesn't make very many mistakes. And if he does make a mistake, it's not a super costly one. He doesn't throw interceptions. He doesn't lose the ball very often. So I think he just keeps the ball in his hands and gets it to his guys efficiently, which is really what's putting points on the board in games, especially with only 1 punt last week against Capon.
Absolutely. I really like seeing him as well, using his dual threat athleticism like we've talked about this whole season. I mean, he can run the ball, but he can throw it exactly as good as well. And he really likes rolling out of the pocket, and he does that efficiently, like you said.
Yeah, and he's just, I mean, four interceptions on the season. A lot of them haven't really been his fault. Just obviously the notable one that comes to mind is the Pius on the first drive. It was a good pass, just bounced out of Jet's hands and was intercepted. So I don't think he hasn't been making those mistakes you see out of a backup quarterback who's filling in for a starter. He's coming out and he's playing like a good starter, and he's showing up in the big time moments.
Absolutely, especially going into the final game of the season. Don't want to have any silly turnovers and bringing that into the postseason. And I also really like some other guys get involved with Luke Neeson making some plays as he had 2 touchdowns, his first 2 of the year. Sal, how can they continue to spread out this offense with the talented wide receiver and tight end room as well?
Well, I mean, this receiving core is, just stacked. It's not like some of the other cores we face in the EKL where they have multiple D1 commits or guys going to play in college, but it is a team that has good receivers who are going to make those plays, make good catches, and get yards downfield. And, I mean, I love Neeson getting involved. 2 touchdowns, amazing performance by him. But then you think back to games like the Blue Valley Northwest game, Preston Canzanieri, 2 touchdowns there. Jet, who's been all over the field, he's been making plays every single week. And it's showing this receiving core is dangerous and needs to be one that's looked at and said, hey, that's a good receiving core. We got to prep for this.
Absolutely. And it's not like we just have one guy like Jet. It's multiple guys that can make plays consistently as well.
Absolutely. And I got to give some love to Luke Neeson. I've been saying all year, he's open very often, and he finally was getting the ball last week, and he really capitalized off that and made some plays. Another thing I got to say is there's really no soft spots on this offense. Everybody at every position that can play the game. Even in a 5A school where there's not as many people as, say, some 6A schools, there's definitely somebody to fill every position on this team. And
I'm just going to say this hot take. I feel like this is one of the best offenses in the EKL.
I agree.
I think it's one of the best overall offenses. We don't have those really high-ranked players, but we have be one of the most spread out and dominant offenses.
Yeah, it is senior night, and that means all the players want to win this game for the seniors, and the seniors want to make a big impression. Who do you guys think will be the X factor tonight for St. James get the W?
I'm going to push that over to Sal.
It feels like we try to predict that every week. Give me Jake House. He's been such a force on the ground. He's been reliable. If they need to get that one, if they need to just get a couple extra yards, they'll hand it to House. I think he's been an X factor. We didn't see as much of him last week against Capon, but I think he's still there. And I said this a couple times. Weeks where he hasn't gotten the ball as much, he usually starts out the game after and just comes out fire and he'll get some big plays. So I think Jake House is always, and he wants to win this. It's his senior night. And
For senior night here.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, first senior night here. That's another huge thing for the school, but I think he wants this and he's gonna want some extra touches and try to get.
yeah. And last week he had 224 yards rushing and receiving. They've also gotten him involved in receiving as well, which is big.
You know, I was hoping to say Jake House for the X Factor because I'm going to pick a little dark horse here. Give me Corey Kirkner. You know, he's going to be that wide receiver 1 next year in the class of 2027. I really think he's going to step up and make some plays because West is going to coach against our main guys like House, Jet, those guys, Canzanieri, all those guys. West isn't really going to see them because, frankly, he hasn't shown too much all the season. But he's definitely capable, and he definitely has potential to go off in this game.
Yeah, Corey Kirkner is definitely capable. He's the top 2027 wide receiver in his class, so he's definitely capable of making those big plays like we talk about. Now let's turn our attention to Blue Valley West, who are 2-5 won the season. The Jaguars are coming off a 28-21 loss to the Blue Valley Tigers. The Jaguars' 2 wins come from their wins over Blue Valley North and Blue Valley Southwest, are both under 500 on the season. Zach. Oh shoot! Sorry, we're redoing that. Sorry. I said Zach and
It was like Zowl and Zach Sugar.
Sal, what is one thing you're looking for from the Jaguars that can cause some trouble for the Thunder?
Well, I mean, their offense has been kind of, it feels like lackluster compared to other years we've seen them. They've obviously lost Tate Nagy, who was a big part of that offense. They lost him as he was a senior last year. So it feels like this West team isn't the same powerhouse we've seen. I'm watching their defense. They've held some teams to less points than I think we thought they would score against West, so I'd watch their defense. But I think if our offense just does what they do, don't make mistakes, I think we got a great chance.
Absolutely. We'll talk about some of their key players later, but like you said, they did lose Tate Nagy, who's now at KU playing punt returner.
But Blue Valley West is still Blue Valley West, 6A school, huge school, and they still have a bunch of talent on their team. It's just any given week, any given Friday, as they say. Anybody can win any game. Anybody can have a bad game. Anybody can have an absolutely amazing game, like we saw last week with some of those Capon guys having the games of their lives against us. And Blue Valley West is definitely not an easy game. Definitely nothing to scoff at like North was. We almost lost to North, frankly.
Yeah. Yep, the Jaguars are led by Lawson McGraw, the tight end and outside linebacker, the K-State commit, who excels on both sides of the ball. Graham McGraw is a big presence at 6'4", especially in the secondary for the Jaguars, and on offense as well. How do we make sure he does not go off and create some big plays?
You know, it's just another week. All those running backs that we faced so far this season and in years past, it's just another Taft Stubbe. It's just another Michael Blunt from EH. It's just another big tight end that you got to take care of. For now, just put 1 or 2 guys just assigned to him and let them eat.
Yeah, I think we've contained those big players. I mean, you mentioned Stubbe. The Locke twins were another big duo that we contained for the most part. I mean, business as usual. Our defense does an amazing job of containing those guys, and I think they've got them.
Yeah, the quarterback for Blue Valley West is a senior transfer from Highland Park High School in Dallas, Texas. He has 7 interceptions on the season. Sal, how can this Thunder defense use the momentum like we were just talking about they've created from their 5-game winning streak to get some takeaways from the Jaguars offense?
Yeah, it's 7 interceptions on the season. Not the highest number we've seen, but it's just a little bit more than he wants. Obviously, I think it's going to be a bit clearly to just kind of get pressure on him, make sure he isn't given time to find that open receiver. He's got to throw it into double coverage, get a couple more picks. We've seen a couple big plays by our secondary with some key interceptions, but forcing him to make those plays and not have time to kind of be cool and collected. Always keep him on his toes.
Yep, definitely need to rattle him the best.
Absolutely. Just don't let him get poised in the pocket and get some targets open, because if he gets in that rhythm, it'll be bad news for us.
Absolutely. You're expecting a high-scoring game or a game dominated by defense, correct?
You know, I'll go first on this one. I think it'll be a semi-high-scoring game, as was the Blue Valley North game. I think it'll be like a 28-24 final score. That's my prediction. Yeah, St. James, obviously.
Yeah, I think St. James is going to win this one. I think it's going to be above a touchdown, and the defense is going to hold, not allow too many points.
Yeah, I think this is going to be, Graham, like you said, I love that. It's going to be a Northwest-ish game. 28 points. I think St. James pulled this one out. I think there's an opportunity for it to be a much larger gap if the defense kind of gets rolling from the get-go and proves who we know they are. I think if they get rolling, it could be a very lopsided game. But I think probably 28-14 St. James.
All right. And I just want to make this clear. The Jaguars are 2-5, and they should not be overlooked tonight. The Thunder need to have their focus like they have all season and keep their momentum rolling into the playoffs to try to reach 7-1 on season. Now let's start with our Week 8 predictions. We have Shawnee Mission Northwest, who are 4-3 on the season, at Shawnee Mission East, who are 5-2. Bram, who do you have on this one?
For this first game, I love Northwest and I love Shawnee Mission East. I have connections with both those schools. I'm going to take the Lancers on this one. The Lancers, with those guys, they're just a powerhouse school. And they excel at other sports, but football has been really their game this year. So I'm going to take the Lancers.
Absolutely. Shawnee Mission East lost last week to Olathe West. Jack Reeves, their running back, has over 1,400 total yards and 15 touchdowns. He plays quarterback and running back. And I know last week I said he has 14 total yards. He does not. 1,400. And then Shawnee Mission Northwest beat Olathe West earlier in the year, and they're riding a 2-game winning streak right now. And they have scored 67 points in 2 games, and they have Woodruff as their quarterback and running back. I think Shawnee Mission Northwest getting this one, the close one.
Well, Northwest beat Olathe West. I think before we thought that Olathe West was going to be the powerhouse that they are, they've been absolutely dominant, but I think that's like a staple, like that's a quality win as we know it. I think Northwest come in here, they beat East, shut them down. I think pretty lopsided game.
Alrighty, now let's go Manhattan, who are 5-2 on the season, at Washburn Rural, who are 5-2 as well. Sad and who do you have in this one?
Well, I mean, ever since I kind of threw shots at Manhattan, they've been absolutely lights out this year. You know what? Give me Manhattan again. I can't bet against them.
Manhattan are coming off a big 50-0 win over Topeka, and they have J.J. Dunningham, the KU commit, who makes plays at wide receiver and DB, so both sides of the field player. And then Rural are coming off a 35-20 loss to Junction City. And they also have some good players behind the linebacker, and the tight end, and Hoytold, who plays quarterback. He also plays basketball at the 5 position. So a little Dufret we have there. I'm going to go Manhattan in this one.
Washburn Rural has been like a sneaky podium spot in the rankings on various social medias. And they kind of dropped off there, but I think they're still kind of a sneaky team. I think they're going to pull it out.
Alrighty, now we have Miege, who are 2-5 on the season. Blue Valley, who are 4-3. Graham, do you have this?
Give me the Tigers.
Plain and simple?
Plain and simple.
Alrighty.
I think Taft Stuvey and those Lockett guys, especially with Sogard, absolute beast of a quarterback. Definitely a great arm there on that team. I think he's just going to excel, and I think it's going to be at least a 3-score game.
Yeah, and Miege is coming off. They're on a 4-game losing streak right now, but they're coming off a recent loss to Blue Valley North, as they lost only by 4 points. But Blue Valley has a 3-game winning streak right now. We beat Blue Valley West, who are playing this week, 28-21, and Stuvey had 2 touchdowns in that game. And I'm going with Blue Valley once again.
Yeah, Tigers, plain and simple. There's no way to sugarcoat it. It's an amazing team. It's a team that us beating proves a lot about us, but I think also Blue Valley has a very big chance of going very deep in the playoffs, because it feels like ever since that loss to us, they've just been hungry for more. So
well said.
Give me the Tigers.
Absolutely. Finally, we have Bishop Carroll, who are 4-3 on the season, at Derby, who are 5-2. Sal, could you have this one?
I mean, Bishop Carroll, we haven't really seen much out of them. The Derby.
I'm going to go to you, because I know you're a big Derby fan. You're going to take it this one.
Derby. Give me dirt. Alluding back to week 1, I love Derby. It's fun to say. It rolls off the tongue, as I say. I think it's going to be Derby by a million.
Alrighty, so what am I going to do here, guys? So,
If it wasn't clear.
Derby has Arias Finley, the junior running back, who has an offer from South Dakota. And he's just super explosive and just a quick guy. And once you give him the ball, when you give it an inch, he's absolutely gone. And, guys, was kind of thinking Bishop Carroll on this one, but give me Derby. I'm going Derby in this one. They're going to extend their 4-game winning streak. Thanks for tuning in to the TBN Live pregame show. I'm Mary Claire Zacharias alongside Sal Valera and Graham Warner, and we're sending it up to the booth right here at Marriott Stadium.